Hi, Nabil Qureshi with Act 17 Apologetics. In case we haven't met before, I, along with a few of my friends, was arrested at Arab Festival 2010 based on some false charges, and we spent the night in jail. Now, as some of you may recall, immediately after getting released from jail, I posted this article on my blog. In fact, I posted this article within a few hours of getting out of jail, even before going to bed that morning. We told you that a festival volunteer had lied about us to get us arrested. Quote, at one point, we came across a festival volunteer who seemed to take issue with us simply being at the festival. We could tell he had a problem with us, so we asked, what are we doing wrong? He said, put the camera and microphone down and I'll tell you. By the way, there was more to this conversation, but when you see the footage, I think you'll see I'm being fair in my summary. In addition to this blog post, we also went to ABN Studios and recorded a video discussion about what happened. Here's what we said.
What we found repeatedly in Dearborn is that any random person can walk up to a police officer or to a security guard and say, those Christians are bothering us, or those Christians are doing something, and police will not hesitate, or security will not hesitate, to come over, stop us, remove us from the festival, or in this case, lock us up, put us in jail. And so in this situation, we were falsely accused, and we had the footage. We said to the police officers, we have the video footage right here on our cameras of exactly what happened. Will you sit down and watch it with us? They refused, and instead they put us in cells.
Well, it's been a month and a half since we made those posts, and we still haven't posted the footage. You might be wondering, as I would be if I were you, why have they not yet posted the videos? That's an excellent question. Well, it took about a month for us to get our cameras back from the city of Dearborn, and right before getting them back, the mayor and the city of Dearborn unleashed a slew of false accusations against us, including that we've been attacking Dearborn for several years, that our intent is to disrupt a local cultural festival, that we misrepresent facts in order to raise funds, that we disrupt events in other cities, that we failed to mention Christians at the festival, that we knew about the designated free speech zone at the festival, that we pretended to be arrested, that we let others believe we were arrested for handing out flyers, that we were aggressively engaging passersby, that we were confrontationally debating random people, that we violated written policy and crowd control, that we knew the festival sidewalks were not considered a public sidewalk for First Amendment purposes, that David had gathered a large crowd around him at the time he was arrested, that David was blocking a key access point between tents, the crowd was forced to go bigger solely because people could not pass, that we intentionally created a public danger, that we wanted to be arrested on videotape. Yeah, because I like counting cinder blocks at 2 o'clock at night. That we wanted to inflame the passion of viewers by misrepresentation of facts, that the Dearborn Area Ministerial Association was unsuccessful in getting a response from us, that we were inciting a riot, that David, Paul, and I were hesitant when being arrested, that we were told we were being under arrest at that time, that David lifted his camcorder into the air after being told he was under arrest, that I began screaming into the crowd surrounded the policeman, that we said we confronted Roger Williams, that we confessed to filming Roger Williams after he asked us to stop, that our actions were causing agitation, that our arrests were a matter of public safety, that we escalated our behavior when the police came to arrest us in a well-orchestrated and deliberate manner, and finally, that we ignored festival rules, regulations, and court decisions. Ever since getting our footage back, we've been busily responding to this campaign of falsehood and lies. And now, after having plumbed the depths of slander and calumny, it seems like they've run out of ideas. And so we finally get to post the footage that we originally talked about. A man by the name of Roger Williams lodged a complaint about us, saying we were harassing him. According to the police report, Williams stated a film crew began recording him doing his festival duties. He advised the subjects that he did not want to be filmed and told them to stop. Williams stated that they did not stop and instead began to surround him. He added that he felt extremely uncomfortable and thought he could not leave, although he attempted to several times. They continued to pester him and badger him with questions and continued filming. Williams again told them to stop filming. Qureshi, Wood, as well as Rezkullah finally put down the microphone and camcorder to speak with him, but he noticed Mael still filming within hearing distance. He radioed to security for assistance, and the party soon left. So let's summarize Roger's claims in his official police report. He says that he advised us that he did not want to be filmed, and so he told us to stop, but that we did not stop, and instead we began to surround him such that he thought he could not leave. He says he attempted to leave several times, but we continued to pester and badger him with questions. He also says Nagin was filming within hearing distance, and he makes it sound as if after badgering him and harassing him, he finally radios to security for assistance, which is when we left. But now that we have the footage back, let's take a look at the video, shall we? Here's a video of Roger approaching me and Luke, accusing Luke of covertly working with Act 17. After Roger leaves, Luke tells me that this is the same volunteer who handed him over to the police. 8.5 minutes later, we ran into Roger again. Well, this is where the action goes down, so watch the video carefully. Oh, and by the way, we had one video camera that had good audio, and the other camera had good video, so we spliced the two together to make this intelligible. Let's watch.
I'm not going to get.
Hey, we're talking to him. We're having a friendly conversation.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure he wasn't messing with you.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
not.
Listen, you don't have to worry about me messing with him. You need to worry about me messing with you.
Okay.
All right?
Why is that?
What are we doing?
Guys.
What are we doing? What are we doing that could cause a problem?
Well, all right, now you're complaining.
Complaining to who? Is complaining illegal? It's not even complaining.
It's all right, guys.
Security, this is Roger.
Sorry, what are we doing this from?
Security.
Okay, so apparently we're doing something illegal. I'm waiting to hear what it is exactly.
Nobody said you did anything illegal.
Okay, I'm not doing anything illegal. Okay.
But you were calling security on us for some reason. We had no clue why. Can you explain it to us? Why were you calling security on
You
us?
turn the camera off. I'd love to.
Okay, he wants to tell us we're doing something wrong if we turn the camera off. So I guess we'll turn the microphone off so we can hear.
Okay, that's better.
All right, it's off. What are we doing wrong?
No, let's go.
You want to talk?
That was a bluff. That was a bluff. That was a bluff.
Oh, really?
Security's right there. What are they doing?
Not act like this.
What did we do? We have no clue what we did. Name anything we did. All right. All right, leave him alone.
I want to hear what he has to say.
That's the point. He's not going to say anything.
I mean, you don't have to record this. I just want to talk to him and see what we did wrong.
Want to turn it off?
You can, here, you take this. I'm going to go talk to him. Okay. At this point, I go to talk to Roger without a camera and a microphone, just as he requested. But he immediately sends me away, saying, "Get away from me." I complied, and so there's no footage left to see. Wow. Let's see that one more time. Want to talk to this guy?
I'm not going to get.
Hey, we're talking to him. We're having a friendly conversation.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure he wasn't messing with you.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
not.
Listen, you don't have to worry about me messing with him. You need to worry about me messing with you.
Okay.
All right?
Why is that? What are we doing?
Can it be any more obvious that his intentions were simply to cause problems? Then, after this segment of the video, we go on to show you that he did not advise us that he didn't want to be filmed. He did not tell us to stop filming him. At no point did we surround him, and at any point in time could he have left freely. He did not attempt to leave at all, and we didn't pester him and badger him with questions. We just asked him what he meant by something he had said. Nagin was filming behind multiple tents, and there was no way at all that she could have heard anything that was being said. In fact, here's a clip of her video camera and what she could hear. Roger's report to the police makes it sound like he radioed security after we'd been bothering him and pestering him, whereas really he radioed security at the inception of our conversation. So after assessing all these claims, how many of them are true? 0. After Roger left, he immediately went and talked to security. Roger had already admitted to us that we weren't doing anything illegal, but apparently security convinced him that he should take this to the police. Suddenly, we saw people around us taking pictures. We didn't know it at the time, but these pictures were being taken so that the police could identify us. A Muslim woman by the name of Amal al-Islami then took over, and the rest is history. One has to wonder, why did Roger do all this? The best I can come up with is that, like the mayor, Roger wants to placate the local Muslims. And it works. Just listen to this crowd of Muslims cheer as we are arrested based off Roger's false accusations. Also notice, we approached Luke, not Roger, and asked him if he was okay. The reason we did this is because we've noticed something strange happens in Dearborn. If Christians' rights are trampled, it seems as no one seems to care. Last year, when many Christians had their rights trampled, no one came to defend them. Then Mary Jo Sharp, a believing sister, was physically assaulted by security guards, and virtually everyone left her undefended. This year, after our 18-year-old sister Nagin was physically and illegally detained by police, we again see the people of Dearborn saying virtually nothing. It seems like no one there seems to care about the rights of believers. Well, we care, And when we see the same man who had harassed Luke just moments earlier approaching him again, we were worried and we wanted to see if he was okay. So why did the police ignore us? Why didn't they just look at the footage? Well, I think the answer is clear. Because they wanted to get rid of us. Well, how do we know this? Just look at the police report. The police lied about what we said, including that we confessed when we hadn't, among many other distortions. I sense another video coming here. Amal al-Islami, the person listed in the police report as the #1 witness, contradicts herself. At first she says she saw the whole thing, and later she says she doesn't see anything. In actuality, all she does is come by and take pictures of us, as you can see in this clip here. But in the police report, she says two contradictory things. First saying that she saw the incident as Williams had recalled, and in the second instance saying she didn't observe any of the confrontation between Williams and the 4 subjects arrested. And Roger lied about us, saying we did things that are clearly disproven by the footage. The police knew all this, and yet they have gone forward with prosecuting us. Roger's lies to the police initiated a sequence of events that led to 4 innocent people spending the night in jail. In addition to this, $2,500 had to be spent to bail us out, and then countless thousands more have been spent in pointless litigation, including flying us back and forth from Dearborn, having to spend the night in hotels. Litigation itself is expensive. So many resources have been wasted because of Roger's lies and frivolous accusations. But he isn't the only one to blame here. Just think about it for a second. The police are supposed to uphold justice. They're supposed to make sure that victims are not abused. But instead, when they came to us based on Roger's trumped-up charges, they refused to listen to us. They literally refused to listen to us. We said, we have cameras that will exonerate us. We have the video footage that will show you that we did none of the things he accused us of. Instead of watching the footage, they decided to throw us behind bars and to confiscate our cameras. You know, all of these annoyances and these superfluous expenses, as well as this breach of justice, could have been avoided if they had just watched the footage, kind of like this.
So the officer sees her knitting and says, "Pull over." And the woman says, "Pull over? They're mittens." But seriously, officer, we'd like to thank you for calmly explaining the accusations against us. The possibility of false accusations is precisely why we had our cameras rolling the entire time. So, with a touch of this button, we can show you exactly what happened, and you can avoid the embarrassment of throwing us in jail on a false charge. Here, see?
Would have been nice if it worked out that way, wouldn't it have been? But it didn't. The police were not interested in hearing us. They weren't interested in upholding the truth. They were furious at us because of what happened last year, and so they threw us behind bars. All we did was go to a booth that invited us to ask questions, and we asked a question of the Muslims there. We were ultimately abused because of it, and so we showed the world the abuse, and now the city of Dearborn is furious at us for standing up for our own rights. So this year, they locked us up on false charges, knowing full well that those charges were false. Their point? Don't come to Dearborn and even potentially offend the Muslims here. Our point? Well, we're not going to stop standing up for the truth. First and foremost, the truth of the gospel, that Jesus Christ, our God and Savior, came to this world and died on the cross for our sins, and he then rose from the dead. This is the truth we will go on proclaiming to anyone, anywhere, because it is what we've been commanded to do, and it is our life's purpose. But we will also defend the truth when Christians are being harassed and their rights are not being upheld, anywhere, be it in Dearborn, outside the United States, anywhere. This is Act 17 Apologetics.